You know that feeling when you open Instagram or TikTok, and it feels like literally everyone else on the planet is getting rich except you? Like you scroll past some 20-year-old kid in a hoodie standing next to a Lamborghini, claiming he made 6 figures last week drop-shipping rubber ducks, or trading some obscure crypto coin that sounds like a sneeze. And you are sitting there, maybe closing the app in horror, looking at your own bank account, and you feel this tightness in your chest. It is like a cosmic conspiracy where the universe forgot to send you the memo on how to print money. It is frustrating. It is honestly exhausting. And it triggers this deep, primal fear that you are falling behind, that you are missing the boat, that you are doing something fundamentally wrong while everyone else has figured out the cheat codes.
Just spends,
but here is the thing that might make you laugh or cry, depending on how much coffee you have had today. Most of that noise? It is absolute garbage. It is smoke and mirrors. It is people renting wealth to sell you a course on how to rent wealth. While the internet is screaming about the latest get-rich-quick scheme, the genuinely wealthy, and I am talking about the people who have been rich for decades, not days, are doing something totally different. They are moving quietly. They are not shouting. They are whispering. And right now, underneath the chaos of the headlines and the recession fears, they are quietly accumulating 5 very specific types of assets. They are playing a completely different game than 99% of people.
Opportunity.
Today, we are going to look under the hood. We are going to ignore the hype and look at the math, the psychology, and the raw data of what smart money is actually buying right now. We are going to talk about rewiring your brain from a consumer to an owner, and how you can use the exact same principles to build a fortress around your financial life. I am Ryan, and welcome to Finance with Ryan. Let's get into it.
Unbelievable.
So we need to reframe the problem because most of us are approaching investing completely backwards. We are obsessed with the outcome, the shiny car, the big house, the vacation to the Maldives. But we ignore the machine that produces the outcome. It is like staring at a scoreboard hoping the numbers change without actually playing the game.
I'm rich! I'm finally rich!
There is this psychological concept called the scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset. And I know, it sounds like something a life coach would yell at you. But stick with me because the financial implications are brutal. When you are in a scarcity mindset, which is where most people live because, frankly, the economy is terrifying, you are hyper-focused on the short term. You are trying to survive the week. You are looking for a lottery ticket. You see $1 as something to spend before it disappears. You are reacting. The wealthy operate with an abundance mindset, but not in a woo-woo manifesting way. I mean in a mathematical way. They view $1 not as a unit of consumption, but as a worker, a little soldier that you send out into the world to capture more soldiers. Right now, the average person is hoarding cash or spending it on inflation-priced goods because they are scared. But the wealthy are quietly buying asset number 1, which is distressed real estate and farmland. Now hold on. I am not saying you need $10 million to go buy a farm.
Sell it now.
I am talking about the concept here. Why are they doing this?
We're losing everything.
Because of something called the contrast principle. When interest rates shot up, regular people panicked. They saw mortgage rates hit 7 or 8% and said, "Oh my God, I cannot buy a house." The market froze.
Can't hold on much longer.
But the wealthy looked at the same situation and saw opportunity. They saw that high rates scare away the competition. They are using this time to buy tangible assets when everyone else is on the sidelines. They understand that real assets, things you can touch, things people need, like housing and food production, are the ultimate hedge against money printing. There was a study done on delayed gratification, You have probably heard of the marshmallow test. Kids who could wait 15 minutes for 2 marshmallows instead of eating one right away ended up being way more successful later in life. The wealthy are essentially passing the adult version of the marshmallow test right now. While everyone else is complaining about high prices,
Accidents happen.
they are quietly
But with Ryan
buying the
Insurance,
assets that
you're on
produce the
solid
things
ground.
that have high prices. It is a mindset shift from "I am a victim of inflation" to "I own the inflation." Think about that. If you own the apartment complex, rent going up is good for you. If you own the farmland, food prices going up is good for you. It sounds harsh, and maybe it is a little bit, but that is the game. You are either paying the rent, or you are collecting it. And the wealthy are aggressively positioning themselves to be the collectors, while everyone else is just hoping for a break. Let's look at the math, because feelings are great, but numbers do not lie.
Oh my God!
And the
sell
numbers
everything,
behind
we're doomed.
asset number 2, which is boring,
It's crashing
cash-flowing
faster than the
businesses
Hindenburg.
and
We are
dividend
ruined.
aristocrats,
Liar. You don't
are
belong
absolutely
here.
insane
Get
if you
out.
look at them over a long timeline. I want to talk about the goal
Go on,
gradient
take
effect.
the apartment and the car.
This is a psychological
You want a
phenomenon
monthly payment.
where, as you get closer to a goal, your efforts increase. You run faster the closer you get to the finish line. The problem is, most people never get close enough to the finish line to feel that acceleration because they stop compounding too early. Let's use some real numbers.
It doesn't matter
Let's
how
say you
much
have
spend if you never
$10,000.
actually pay the
If you
bills.
put that into a savings account, earning
Look at me, I'm swimming in
0.1%
debt.
in 20 years, you have, well, basically $10,000 and enough change to buy a cup of coffee. You have actually lost money because of inflation. But let's say the wealthy person takes that same $10,000 and buys shares in boring, unsexy companies that pay dividends and grow over time. We are talking about companies that make toothpaste, or trash cans, or electricity. Stuff people need even if the world is ending. If you get a total return of, let's say, 8% annually, which is historically reasonable, the $10,000 turns into roughly $46,000 in 20 years without you adding another penny. But here is where it gets wild. Let's say you are aggressive. Let's say you contribute $500 a month. That is $6,000 a year. It is a lot of money, sure. But it is less than the average car payment in America right now, which is just ridiculous, by the way. If you start with 0 and invest $500 a month at 8%, in 10 years you have roughly $90,000. In 20 years, you have nearly
Thanks for watching. If you wanna see more
$296,000.
games like these, smash
In
that
30 years,
subscribe button
you have
and let the
nearly
algorithm do the work.
$750,000.
Baba gaba.
Do you see the curve? The first 10
We're
years,
rich.
you
We're
grind
finally rich.
and you get to 90,000. The last 10 years, you jump from 300,000 to 750,000. That last jump is bigger than the entire first 20 years combined. That is the acceleration. The wealthy understand this hockey stick curve. They know that the first few years are boring. They are painfully slow. It feels like watching paint dry in slow motion. But they are buying these boring cash flow assets now, quietly, because they know that in year 15, the math goes vertical. They are not trying to double their money in a week. They are trying to multiply it by 50 over a lifetime. They are buying asset number 3, which is short-term government treasuries or dry powder. Wait, didn't I just say cash is trash? Yes, holding cash under your mattress is stupid, but holding cash equivalents that pay you 5% right now is strategic. The wealthy are hoarding liquidity, access to cash, so that when the economy breaks, and it always breaks eventually, they can swoop in and buy everything else for pennies on the dollar. They are getting paid 5% to wait for a crash. That is a position of power. That is using the math of interest rates to your advantage. While the average person is drowning in credit card debt at 25% interest, the wealthy are lending money to the government at 5% and waiting for the sale of the century. It is the exact same money, just moving in opposite directions. This brings us to the psychological shift, and honestly, this is the hardest part. It is not the math that stops people. It is the identity. You have to undergo a complete identity shift. You have to stop identifying as a consumer and start identifying as a capital allocator. There is a moment, and I hope you have it soon if you haven't already, where you look at a luxury item, like a $2,000 watch or a brand new $80,000 truck, and you don't see the object. You see the opportunity cost. You see the freedom you are setting on fire. The wealthy are currently buying asset number 4, which is asymmetric bets, specifically things like Bitcoin or aggressive tech growth stocks. But, and this is a massive but, they are doing it with a tiny portion of their portfolio, maybe 1 to 5%. The psychology here is fascinating. They have 95% of their money in boring, safe stuff we just talked about. And then they take 5% and swing for the fences. If they lose that 5%, their life doesn't change. They still eat steak. They still sleep in a nice bed. But if that 5% goes up 10 times, it moves the needle significantly. This is the barbell strategy. Extremely safe on one side, extremely risky on the other, and nothing in the middle. Most regular folks do the opposite. They put everything in the middle. They buy mediocre mutual funds. They keep too much cash, or worse, they gamble their rent money on a meme coin. That is not investing. That is desperation. The identity shift happens when you realize that buying assets is actually more addictive than buying stuff. I remember when I bought my first dividend stock. I got a check for like $3.50. It was pathetic. It wasn't even enough for a Big Mac. But I stared at that $3.50 and I realized I didn't work for this. I didn't have to answer an email. I didn't have to sit in traffic. My money went to work. It sweated. It toiled. And it came back with a friend. That feeling is better than any new pair of sneakers. The wealthy are addicted to that feeling. They are addicted to seeing the column in their spreadsheet labeled passive income go up. They get a dopamine hit from increasing their net worth, not their wardrobe. It requires discipline, sure. But discipline is just choosing what you want most over what you want now. The wealthy want freedom most, so they sacrifice the now. They are quietly buying asset number 5, themselves. And I know that sounds like a cheesy motivational poster. Invest in yourself. But I mean it literally. They are buying equity in their own businesses. They are buying coaching. They are buying networks. They are buying their way into rooms where deals happen. They understand that in a world where AI and automation are taking over average jobs, the only safe asset is a high-value skill set and a robust network. They are not waiting for a boss to give them a raise. They are building side hustles, acquiring businesses, or scaling their primary income so they can dump more money into assets 1 through 4. It is a complete rewiring of how you see your place in the economic machine. You are no longer a cog. You are the mechanic. So what are the practical implications of all this? How does this change your Tuesday afternoon?
It's crashing!
It comes down to 2 concepts: bargaining power, or what negotiators call your BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement, and the FU money concept. When you start accumulating these assets,
buy
the
the
boring
car and the
stocks, the
apartment.
treasuries, the
Those monthly
skills.
payments are totally
You start building a
manageable.
floor beneath you.
Oh no!
Most
my
people live with a
portfolio!
trap door under their feet.
We're ruined! Abandon
If they
the
lose their
market!
job, the trap door opens and they fall into ruin. When you have that trap door, you are terrified. You say yes to the boss who treats you like garbage. You stay late when you don't want to. You are weak because you have no options. But when you have 6 months of expenses in treasuries earning
This is what
5%,
happens when the system
and you have a
intervenes.
portfolio generating a few $100s a month in dividends,
This is bad.
the trap
This is
door
very,
closes.
Very bad.
you are standing on solid ground. This changes your energy. It changes how you walk into a room. If you go into a job negotiation and you need that job to pay rent next week,
Are you
they can
absolutely
smell
sure
it
you
on
want
you.
to stay here?
You have zero bargaining power. Your BATNA
Hell
is
no.
zero.
Get me out of here!
But if you walk in knowing you could survive for 2 years without them, you are dangerous. You are powerful. You can ask for what you are actually worth because you are willing to walk away. The wealthy are buying assets that give them the power to say no. That is the ultimate luxury. It isn't the Ferrari. It is the ability to look at a bad deal, a bad client, or a bad boss and say, "No thank you," and sleep like a baby that night. This creates a positive feedback loop. Because you have assets, you are less stressed. Because you are less stressed, you perform better. Because you perform better, you make more money. Because you make
Hey,
more
everyone,
money,
Ryan
you
here.
buy
Welcome
more
to the channel.
assets.
Let's
It
get
is a
this algorithm
flywheel.
approval and watch those
The hardest
dollar
part
signs flow.
is just getting it moving. The practical implication is that you stop spending money on things that impress other people and start spending money on things that buy your freedom. You stop caring if your neighbor has a newer car than you because you know your net worth is growing by $2,000 a month and he is drowning in payments. You start playing the long game. You start getting excited about boring things. You check your brokerage account and smile when the market is down because you know you are buying shares on sale. You become immune to the panic. But I have to give you a serious warning.
Make it
There is a
stop.
massive
Too much
trap
noise.
that people fall into right when they start to see a little bit of success with this. It is the lifestyle creep trap, or what I call the fake rich syndrome. You save your first $100,000.
You stop
You feel
consuming,
good.
You start owning.
You feel like a genius.
That's how you build the financial
And then
fortress.
the devil on your shoulder whispers, "Hey, you are doing great. You deserve a reward. Why don't you upgrade the apartment? Why don't you lease that BMW? You can afford the monthly payment." And just like that, you kill the compound interest curve. You chop the legs off your soldiers right before they were about to start running. I have seen so many people get to a point where they could have been financially free in 10 years, and then they blow it up because they wanted to look wealthy instead of being wealthy.
Gotta hide
They
my
trade their
money.
freedom for a status symbol that loses 20% of its value the second they drive it off
This
the lot.
demonstrates the contrast
It is
principle
tragic.
perfectly. While the high
It is
interest
like
rates
planting a
on,
tree,
maintaining a calm
watering
demeanor
it
is
for
key to
5
understanding
years,
the underlying
and then
stability.
chopping it down because
The
you wanted a
economy's
toothpick.
great. You just have
Don't
to
be
own
that
the solid
person.
gold fortress.
Don't be the person who gets a raise and immediately matches it
And
with a
while
new
they fought over
expense.
the marshmallow,
The wealthy
real
are
gains
quiet
were
about their
completely
buying
ignored.
because they know that flashing wealth attracts liabilities. It attracts lawsuits. It attracts family members asking for loans. It attracts thieves. Real wealth is stealth wealth. It is the guy in the 10-year-old Honda who owns the apartment complex. It is the woman in the plain t-shirt who has $3 million in her Vanguard account. The warning is this.
Whoa, steady
The system
now.
is
The
designed
market
to separate
loves
you
this.
from your money.
He's riding the wave.
Every
Buy,
ad,
buy.
every algorithm,
Hold steady. We're
every
making a
social pressure
fortune.
is engineered to make you
It's a
spend.
bloodbath. Get out.
If you stop paying attention for 1 second,
I'm
you will
losing my
drift
grip.
back into
The charts
consumption
look great,
mode.
but I can't hold
You
on.
have to be vigilant. You have to be almost ruthlessly protective of your capital. Because every dollar you spend foolishly today is not just a dollar gone. It is $10 gone from your future self. It is days of freedom you are stealing from your future. If you buy a $50,000 car you don't need, you aren't just spending $50,000. You are spending the $300,000 that money would have grown into over 20 years. You are literally driving your retirement fund into the ground. Is that car worth 3 years of your life sitting in a cubicle? That is the question you have to ask. And usually, the answer is a resounding, hell no. Look, I know this stuff isn't sexy. Telling you to buy index funds, treasuries, and cash-flowing boring assets isn't going to go viral on TikTok. It is not a secret crypto code that turns $1 into $1 million overnight.
Is wild.
But it is the truth. It is what actually works.
Hitting the targets. It's a bull
The wealthy
market.
are buying these 5 assets:
Buy right
cash
now.
flow,
We're making a
treasuries,
fortune.
boring stocks, asymmetric bets, and skills, because they understand that the goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to be free.
Hold on
They are
tight, it's
quietly
going
building
parabolic.
fortresses while everyone else is building sandcastles.
Yeah, look at those numbers.
The transformation
We're
happens
rich.
when you decide
It's
that
going
you
up.
are
Hold
done
on.
being
We
a
hit the
spectator.
targets.
You are done being the person who wonders where all their money went at the end of the month.
The charts are
You are
green.
going to
I
start
can't
building
hold
that
on.
foundation
Buy.
today,
Sell.
not tomorrow. Today.
I can't
Even if
hold
it
on
is
much
just
longer.
opening the
These
account.
charts are wild.
Even if it is just transferring
He's losing control.
$50.
Sell now.
Even if
Buy
it
the
is just
dip.
deciding not to buy that coffee and investing it instead. Start the flywheel. Push it. It will be heavy at first. It will feel like nothing is happening. But keep pushing. Trust the math.
Hold still, you bronze
Trust the
maniac.
process. Because in 10 years,
The
when you are
market is
waking up
crashing.
without an alarm
Sell
clock,
everything now.
and your assets are
Help,
paying
I can't
for your
hold on
life,
much longer, but the
you are going
portfolio
to
looks
look back at
great.
today and thank yourself for making the shift. You can do this. It is not rocket science. It is just patience, discipline, and a little bit of basic math. Stop watching everyone else. Stop comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Focus on your own game. Thanks for watching Finance with Ryan. If this helped you, do that thing with the buttons so
hold
the
on.
algorithm
We're
knows
hitting
we
the
are
targets,
here.
but I can't
I will
feel my
see you in the
legs.
next one.